And we started working on the digital euro way back. Actually, when I started my term 5.5 years ago. And I'm not claiming, parentality on the digital euro, because my colleague Benoît Cœuré had already committed a speech on this matter before I arrived. But I certainly carried on with that project, and subsequently Fabio Panetta on the board, and then Piero Cipollone, who has replaced Fabio, have taken the lead together with a very, very good team, which is focused on accelerating the pace and hopefully campaigning enough with all the stakeholders, meaning European Parliament, meaning European Council, meaning European Commission, so that we can eventually, not put to bed, but put to reality this digital euro. The deadline for us is going to be October of 25, and we are getting ready for that deadline, but we will not be able to move unless the other parties, the stakeholders, as I call them, Commission, Council, and Parliament, actually complete the legislative process, without which we will not be able to move. And I think it is critically important, and it seems to the agnostic or the skeptics, it seems to be more relevant and more of an imperative now than ever before, both on the wholesale and on the retail level, both.
This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for a couple decades. This is something we've been focused on digital currencies for a couple decades.
If you think of Bitcoin as property in cyberspace, and you say, where is all the money in the world headed? Well, it's headed from foreign countries, China, Russia. It wants to go to cyberspace. It wants to go from the physical world to the digital world. So if you think about Bitcoin as cyberspace, then the logic behind a Bitcoin strategic reserve is not so much you're storing up Bitcoin. It's really that you're taking control of, planting the flag in cyberspace, because the digital economy is going to be capitalized on Bitcoin. And if you get there first, before the AIs, before the foreigners, before the Europeans, the Africans, the South Americans, the Russians, and the Chinese, the U.S. can own it and benefit from it.
We are going to put a lot of thought into the stablecoin regime, and as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that.
When there's a crash, I hope it's going to be during this next 12 months, because I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. The one president, I just don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
Donald Trump is the only president in American history, other than Herbert Hoover, who lost more jobs than he had when he came in. That's why I call him Donald Herbert Hoover Trump.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy. And it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And then also, of course, in the first quarter of 2025, we always get a correction. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin, cryptos, and stocks taking a beat down. And the mainstream media is finally talking about a recession. Guys, it is hilarious. Remember, your life is an illusion, and TV is your reality. You can't make this stuff up. And we have CPI on Wednesday, and the only thing they're doing is pricing this in, because we know inflation is going to be sticky still, and the Fed is going to stay put. And like I told you, that would bring a roller coaster ride. And then next week, we have Jerome in the house next week. And of course, that's going to bring a roller coaster ride, because not only is he in the house, he's coming in on that third Friday. And when it comes to stocks, they wiped out trillions. And where is that money going, guys? That's right, in the back door to build this fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Michael Saylor, the spokesperson, planning on buying more Bitcoin. And we know he knows all about the digital economy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates right now being pushed down. But, guys, if you can imagine, if yield rates had stayed around that 4.5, 4.6, yes, we would have a crash. But remember, Jerome Powell told us they control that long end for the markets. And then right now, guys, we have the dollar down. We have volume in crypto right now up. We have Tether and USDC. And then we have USDC and USDT Tether approved for use in Thailand for trading and payment use starting in 6 days. And what they're doing is just circulating these stable coins. And remember what Scott Besson stated, these stable coins will keep the US dollar strong. Guys, they're telling you the plan. Only thing you have to do is listen. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $136 billion on Friday. Make sure you're pulling it on a daily basis during the week. And we know the Fed wants to keep rates high for longer to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution. And we are definitely seeing every sector being broken up. And then with trillions of dollars wiped out the stock market. And guys, this is just a short period of time. And yes, we always take a pullback in the first quarter, but just look how quickly they can just put those trillions of dollars in and take them right back out. But guys, we know it's definitely time to build. Trump has 4 years to land us in his fourth industrial revolution. And we know these central banks move in lockstep. We have the ECB's president, Christine Lagarde, said that the EU is looking to launch their digital euro by October of this year. But the key statement she stated was they've been working on it for 5 years. So if she's telling us they've been working on it for 5, we know in the back they've been working on it for 20. Remember, these stable coins, CBDCs, are nothing but digital dollars. But this time they're programmable. Put that smart contract on them. They can tell you what, when, and how to buy. And you have 3 to 6 months to spend it, or poof, it's gone. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we know that is biblical. But my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. Not because it's not there, because they reject it. They don't want to see the truth. Because then, of course, they have to change their own behavior. We see the sheep distracted on things that don't matter, while this fourth industrial revolution plan moves fast forward. And that's the reason why Jerome Powell stated a lot of people are going to get left behind. Just make sure you're not one of them. Remember, guys, with history, you're either on the wrong side or you're on the good side. And when it comes to this beast system, they finally have the technology to bring it all together. And you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. Now we see that Trump is going to be known in history as the pioneer of this new system. And remember, guys, with technology, it can be used for good or evil. This technology is not scary when you understand it and you know how to use it for the betterment for you and the Most High. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then, guys, of course, we have Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs right now are down. And we have Rex shares and Osprey funds filed for Move ETF. And of course, guys, we keep seeing these altcoin ETF filings. We haven't seen any approvals, but we're steady seeing the filings. That means that they know that approvals are about to start happening. And we know regulation in the United States is definitely coming this year. Now we have the Singapore Exchange announces plan to list an open-ended Bitcoin futures contract. And guys, we know only thing they're doing is betting on the price. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now getting over into a little crypto news. We have the Cayman Islands starting April 1st will require license for trading and custody. And it doesn't matter what country you go to, they all have a plan for this fourth industrial revolution. And when it comes to the Cayman Islands, there's always a narrative. That's where you hide the money. And then lastly, we have Spanish bank BBVA secures approval to offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. And when it comes to trading, how you're making the money is all about fees. And we know the house always wins. And we know the bank definitely always wins because the banks are the biggest what? I'll let you finish that. But like I told you, all this great utility news on banks able to custody crypto is not going to be reflective in the price. Not just yet, because guys, it is time to build this fourth industrial revolution where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you, don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.